Hi friends, my name's host Eric. I'm the host of Talking with Famous People, and I'm the man with the plan that involves Stan. I'm also a person who needs real estate advice, and I'm hopeful that some knowledgeable real estate people, for example, Horse Mumbler, might be up early on this New Year's Day to provide me some advice. I went over this some yesterday, of course, but I still haven't decided what to do. And I guess I'm kind of exiting the stage where I'm very mad. But my real estate agent tried to pull some shady ass shit. Let me shoo these peacocks away. I'll be right back. I'm shooing some peacocks. Get out of here, you filthy buggers. Okay. So I've shooed the filthy birds away. Good morning, Winston's mom. Happy New Year to you as well. All the best for you and yours. Anyway, I don't know what to do about this whole real estate thing. Obviously, Janet is unacceptable. Janet Ho as a realtor, for me, is completely unacceptable now. Because she tried to pull some shit that can only possibly be, I don't know anything really about real estate law and regulations and stuff. I could Google it, I guess, but F.E. Third wants to just ask other people. It has to be some kind of professional misconduct, what she did. It certainly is professional ethics violations, regardless of whether there are any enforcement mechanisms against that. Essentially, what she did was use the vulnerabilities as a seller that I informed her of because she's my realtor and needs to know those, and used them to try to benefit herself by buying under market value before she listed the house and still get a commission. Now that has to be professional misconduct of some sort. So I guess some of my question is, I guess I have a couple of ideas, and yes, I would greatly appreciate any research that you would do on this matter. Winston Bond would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. I'm not quite sure what to threaten her with, basically. It's not so much I need a whole lot of information about her professional history as I need information about what comprises, like, you know, if you're a lawyer and you do some bullshit, you get called before the bar and you could be disbarred, right? I need to know what the equivalent of that is for real estate agents. I need to know the names of the agencies or people that I would threaten to talk to that would successfully bend her to my will, basically. I'm not happy with this situation. Yes, I did sign a listing agreement with this agent, right? to list the house at $1.15 million. And then but I also informed her, look, we really want to get out of here and get this house up there. We'll take as little as 1.1, and as long as we clear $1 million, we'll be satisfied. She then tried to come over here and tell me this house is not going to be able to sell for anything more than $1 million, but that she'll buy it from us before it lists at $1,070,000, so that we clear $1 million, maybe barely. I mean, factoring in all the costs, probably not. And she still gets a commission for buying our house at under market value. So yes, we signed a listing agreement, but in my mind, she's already breached contract, right? In some sense. But I see the fact that we have a listing agreement with her as an advantage for me, not for her. Like, one of the things I was potentially considering is offering her the option to pay me $10,000 to get out of the listing agreement. She's going to have to pay me to get out of the listing agreement, not the other way around. But the problem there is the listing agreement is tied in with this, in some sense, with this whole contingency deal that we've got set up. I still do want that house in Mariposa, but anyway, the point is, she's the one who's fucked because she's full of vulnerabilities and potential liabilities. I'm not constrained by the listing agreement at all, because I can just say, then follow the listing agreement and sell my house for $1.15 million and do it right now. Or otherwise, you're going to be dealing with me until it does happen. And I'm not going to be nice to you at all. Now, the contingency is this. That we're on a contingency buy, okay? We will buy that house if this house sells by meow date. That's the contingency. I'd like to buy that house, so I'd like this house to sell by meow date, right? She knows this, and she's taking advantage of this information to try to buy it at under market value before she actually lists it. Coming to me and telling me before she actually lists it that no, you won't be able to sell this for what you want because there was a suicide here, and Chinese buyers are very scared by suicides. Even if that's true, I can't believe her because of the conflict of interest. She's ESTJ. ESTJ. I mean, it has a sunset date, right? We have an exclusive listing agreement for X number of months. And after that, we go our separate ways if the house doesn't sell. But my point is, the house will sell if she tries to sell it rather than tries to buy it for under market value. And the practical thing would just be to tell the agent to follow the contract as stated and list the terms on the agreed upon, list the house on the agreed upon terms. Well, I mean, that's probably true, but not before I rip her soul into shreds. She needs to know the scope and scale of her malfeasance. She needs to be terrified that I'm going to go report her to people And then she'll just actually try to do a good job. That's the only way I can trust her to try to do a good job, is if she's terrified. She should be. She's fucked with me. I cannot trust her to do a good job under any other circumstances. She's already proven what a scumbag she is. And she needs to know that. In no uncertain terms. The thing is, I'm so impractical that because I'm mad at her right now, I don't even give a fuck anymore about that house in Mariposa. I'm thinking about things like informing her, we will now no longer accept a penny less than 1.15, and I expect you to get it done in a month. And if you don't, my contingency deal falls through, I'm reporting your ass. How's that for some motivation? The DRE, thank you. That's what I needed, with those 3 letters. Oh, these fucking peacocks. Thank you for that, Winston's Mom. It's a fantastic link. I really appreciate it. Let me go shoo these peacocks away. I hate these filthy birds. Shoot! Get out of here, filthy birds. You too. Shoot! Get out of here. Okay, that's it. That's it. That is it. I'm going to get my air pistol from the pod so that I can shoot these filthy peacocks. Well, I just learned one thing that's very important. I am not going to be able to find my air pistol until I unpack that whole goddamn thing. I have no idea which box it's in. Trouble sounding the alarm? That's Capillo, actually. Host Eric Mia. I don't know what Mia means, but Mia back to you. So, I'm not quite sure what to do. I'm not quite sure. Oh, well, see, she had to capitalize all the letters then. And I would have read it at my end. That's on her. I've been sitting on it for a couple of days. I guess I'm waiting for her to reinitiate contact. She's lucky she didn't do it yesterday, or she would have been running from this house sobbing after I screamed at her. I called my real estate agent in Mariposa to ask his advice, but of course I called him at 7 in the morning on January 1st, so it's a little early to expect somebody to answer the phone. So hopefully he'll call me back some point this morning. It's just, the bottom line is, what I don't think Janet gets is that I cannot trust her at all anymore, right? No matter what she tells me, I'm going to assume it's said in her interest, not mine. Well, I'm here asking advice rather than calling Janet, right? I'm calling my real estate agent in Mariposa rather than calling Janet. So I think I'm doing due diligence about thinking about this prior to doing anything, No, she didn't. She hasn't contacted me since. And it's New Year's Day. People get the day off, even realtors, So, I get that. Maybe, I think I got another day of sitting and thinking with it before I feel comfortable taking any particular action or saying anything to her, Regardless, I want her to feel, at least, just how badly she fucked up. Right. She tried to solve my problem. That wasn't her job. Her job was to sell my house for as much money as possible. I don't want her to solve my problem. I want her to sell my house for as much money as possible. Well, I mean, I do want that house in Mariposa. It is a great deal. It is a great house. So, but my feelings now are I'm not going to accept a dime less than 1.15 because of the way that she's playing this. And it doesn't matter if she genuinely was trying to help me and genuinely telling the truth about how much damage having a suicide on the property does to the ability to sell the house, which is what she was saying. Like, oh, because there is suicide here, we're really going to have so much trouble selling this house because Chinese people are so, so very superstitious. Well, even if that's true, I can't believe her because she tried to play both sides. Oh, I want more than that, though, Winston's mom. Well, Boba, the the thing is, we're trying to complete a contingency deal in which we buy the house in Mariposa upon selling the house here. That has a sunset date, a drop dead sunset date of February 15th. And if we don't sell this house before um, January 25th, if we don't open escrow before then, it costs me another $2,500. If we don't sell it at all before February 15th, it costs me another $2,500. So that's not huge in the big picture of things. For me, it's a matter of principle. And it's a matter of this woman apparently thought she was smarter than me. And I don't like it when people think that. Especially when they're a billion times stupider than I am. So now she needs to be punished. Talk about not doing due diligence, right? She didn't even, before she even listed it, she informed me that it would be impossible to sell at list price. Because she talked to somebody. I mean, that is the definition of failing to do due diligence, you know? So, I mean, that's not necessarily the case. This is bullshit, but only sort of smells like it. It's the opposite kind of thing, right? It's definitely bullshit, but it smells like her trying to solve my problem. But I'm too intuitive for her, to fool. So anyway, did I get a phone call while I was outside pointlessly looking through the pod for something I couldn't find? Did my phone ring? Let me see. I want to talk to David. No, my phone didn't ring. I'll tell you something. The White Album? Fantastic. Minus a few tracks. There are a few must skips on that album, but the rest of it is absolutely fantastic. Um, you can actually look at it because they're accepting contingency. Thank you for informing me of that. Sorry about that. If you put that address into your internet browser, probably the first thing that pop up will be the Zillow listing, and you can look at the house. That's the house we're trying to buy. The listing price of that house is $495,000. And it's a much better house than this house, in my opinion, which has a listing price of 1.15. Yeah, doesn't it look cozy? It is cozy. But it's also big. It's 2 stories, 4 bedroom, 3 bath. It's got fireplaces, which are really like these ultra fire safety wood burning stove things like that are required nowadays so that you don't start fires. Anyway, it's got one in the main bottom floor area. It's got one in the main top floor day room. It's got central heating and air that you can adjust the temperature separately for each room. It's got a full house vacuum cleaner, so you just plug your tube into the hole in the wall and it vacuums everything into this big thing in the garage. Which is pretty rad, you know. It's got the National Forest right across the street from it, and my backyard is just forest with a little hill, a little shed, and then just trees and forest and stuff. We can see our nearest neighbors on either side, but we're basically as far back as you can get in that thing. Well, if this house sells before February 15th, they dropped the price on that house $90,000 2 days or 3 days before we tried to make this deal go, you know. So we jumped on it when after it sat on the market for 180 days at $600,000, it dropped it to $500,000. It appraises for more than that. So it's a new house built in 2000. I don't like the ocean, Boba Fett. I like the mountains. I've always been that way. I've always preferred the mountains to the beach. I don't like the ocean. It's salty, it's sandy, there's no trees. I don't like it. I don't like the beach. I always feel like sweaty and get too much sun, and I don't like the beach. I mean, we haven't gotten a good deal yet because we haven't sold this house yet. Yeah, I don't know. I've just never been a beach guy. It's partially because I don't like getting sand on my feet. I like walking in flip-flops without socks, but I don't like having my feet feel dusty or sandy at all. It's an SI thing. You wouldn't understand. Okay. Just let me have my SI way of knowing that the mountains are better than the beach. I know they're better because I've consistently liked them better for my whole life. Did I bring my car? Good. For a second there, I was afraid I had left my coffee in the car. That would have been horrible. Then I would have had to go out to the car and get my coffee. Well, I mean, they can both be great. I just find the beach rarely the right place to be. And when I do want to go to the beach, it's not going to be during summer. It'd be like spring after a storm when there's clouds, so it's not so sunny and hot. I don't know, I wouldn't want to go in the water. I just want to like walk along the beach, picking up shells or something. That sounds kind of cool, the right day of the year or something, but I don't want to live by the beach. I like saltwater fishing, but it's pretty hard without a boat. You can fish off the pier, but then it's like, I don't know. I'd rather fish in freshwater, I think. Happy New Year, Shuffler. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2023. Let's all hope it's a better year than 2022. 2022 was a year full of death. 2023 is going to be a year full of life. See the liveliness in my face? I'm so alive. I'm alive with pleasure. Hawaii's cool, but I wouldn't want to live there. It's super expensive. The traffic is awful. It's too crowded. You gotta live on like Maui, maybe it would be cool. You can't even bother with the Big Island anymore. You know, let alone the Wahoo. Oh, you don't want to live on the Wahoo, that's for sure. I am a mountain scamperer. I like to put on boots and like run along a path and run up the hill a little bit and run down the hill. You know, I like to find a secluded place and maybe make a campfire and smoke some cigarettes and, you know, like that shit. I don't want to find a dead steel town. I want to live in Mariposa, at that house, and I want there to be a dead minimum. Well, now I've changed. Now I want there to be a dead minimum of like $550,000 change. Well, I used to think I wanted there to be a dead minimum of $500,000 change, but after this woman tried to pull this shit on me, I'm not any longer going to be satisfied with a solution to my problem. Now I want the most money I can get for this. And it's because she fucked up. She has only herself to blame. A dead steel town sounds like Meth City. Oh, now it's sounding a little bit more attractive to me. Maybe I should go to a dead steel town. Sounds like it would be an easy place to get meth. I could get that if I wanted. I don't want that. I'm done with that. That's too hardcore for me. Not that I would never do it again. I'm not saying that. I would do it again. Probably will at some point. But I'm not going to ever acquire some, you know. Like, I'm not going to get a teener. Or if I do, I just leave the rest of it behind after I'm done using it for a night or two, you know. Get a teener. Can I get a ball or a teener? At least a teener. You gotta have at least a teener on you. People who do drugs know what those things mean. To get a teener is a 16th of an ounce of, say, meth or cocaine. A ball is an eighth of an ounce because it stands for 8 ball, you know. Meth is so passe. All the cool kids are doing shrooms. Why would you want to not hang out with tiny elves who take you by the hand and show you what colors sound like? High school dropouts and meth? Sounds like a party. I'm just joshing, obviously. I worry about people who don't do drugs in a sustainable fashion. Almost always there's alcohol involved, but meth's an exception. You can have a problem with meth without having any problem with alcohol. Fentanyl is also an exception. But usually, if you stay away from a couple of bad drugs, if you don't drink, you can do drugs successfully. That's my experience. There's not really any kind of universal law or anything. Lately, when did meth become mainstream? When I was like 20, it started coming around really, or maybe 18. So call it 30 years ago. But you know, innovative Germans used it as early as World War II. Those innovative Germans. They're so innovative. Winston's mom. That was so gross. Why would you fart like that in front of us all? Oh. Winston's mom, go to the bathroom or something. Jesus. Whew. Winston's mom has such bad FE. She farted in front of everybody. It's okay, I forgive you. Just don't do it again. I was telling my friends about you the other night, Winston's mom. So I was getting compliments on my blue hat, you know. I said, oh yeah, there's this lady on the internet. She sends me these hats, and they're all super cool. That's fantastic. Everybody tells me I look good in a hat, stuff like that. So thank you for those hats. I appreciate them. People think that blue hat's stylish. I tell you, they do. I get a lot of compliments on that blue hat. Well, yeah, I was telling them about how you've got great taste in hats. Anyhow, I'm not currently wearing a hat. It may look like it, but this is actually my hair. This is what my hair looks like. It's not just a particularly ugly hat that I'm wearing. Oh, Janet, 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 Janet. The thing is, it doesn't matter what our motivations were. You have to avoid even the appearance of a conflict of interest, so you lose all credibility. Anybody who knows anything about jurisprudence knows that. Oh, how sweet. Sassoon. That is the nicest thing anybody's ever said to me. Justine says, I just want to say that whenever I see your face, I get visions of peeling it off and wearing it. Fortunately, my face is that kind of face that you can peel off, stick on one person, peel it off again, stick on another person. It stays sticky for about 5 changes, and then you have to get a new one. He's not a killer, he's a slayer of the puss. Mm, mm. Oh yeah, baby. Here comes my penis. Like that. That's how Sassoon slays the puss. Yeah, only a lady killer. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Fa 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 fa. Run, 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 run away. Way. Ah, la, 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 la. Yeah, I was listening to the White Album, and it starts off with the plane sound, you know. And then, been around so long, I hardly knew the place. Gee, it's good to be back home. I'm back in the USSR. Don't know how lucky you are, boy. Back in the US, back in the US, back in the USSR. Well, the Ukraine girls really knock me out. They leave the West behind. And Moscow girls make me sing and shout. And Georgia's always on my mind. Such a good rock song. The Beatles are so just artistically iconic. It's insane. Like, you remember their songs. Even people who try to not like them, like Becky, she can sing all their songs like that. Which is proof you're doing music wrong, you know. You're understanding music entirely wrong. But that's fine. You're entitled to do that. What was the other one I was singing in the bathroom earlier today that I came to mind? I started singing, oh, my beauty, come here. Come here. Um, right. I've called you up. Your line's engaged. Don't do that, kitty. I have had enough. So act your age. I have lost the time that was so hard to find, and I would lose my mind if you won't see me. You won't see me. You won't see me. Won't see me. See, the thing is, I don't like the Talking Heads. The Beatles are not overrated. They're not underrated either, but they're rated appropriately as the single greatest band of all time, by a large margin. And I'm somebody who listens to all kinds of music all the time. So you can, and my aesthetics are perfect pretty much, so you can trust that I'm right when I say that. There's never been such a musical force in history, and there never will be again. They set the archetypes that all bands that thereafter, you know, tried to manifest, right? I mean, Paul McCartney has a couple of good solo songs. It really doesn't matter what the contract says, Jeremiah Fix, because she's clearly guilty of professional misconduct. Whether it rises to the level of fraud is another question. But, so I have her over a barrel. It doesn't matter what the contract says. because I can sue her. I could potentially even engage criminal charges against her. If I sued her, I would definitely win, and probably I couldn't get her convicted of anything, but I could take it to the cops. So, no, they're not very repetitive at all. They've got an incredible catalog of totally distinct songs. Is there anybody going to listen to my story? All about the girl whose name's Desiree. She's the kind of girl you want so much it makes you sorry. Still you don't regret a single day. Oh girl. Versus, I'm looking through you. What did you know? I thought I knew you. What did I know? You don't look different, but you have changed. I'm looking through you. You're not the same. Why? Tell me, why did you not treat me right? Fucking geniuses. They're absolute fucking geniuses. But not predictable or repetitive at all. Now, Paul McCartney, his solo career was pretty crappy. His best solo song is Too Many People, meow, 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 meow. Too many people, meow, 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 meow. Too many people, meow, 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 meow. Too many people, meow, 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 meow. This was your lucky break. You took your lucky break and you broke it in two. Now what can be done for you? You broke it in two. That's a great song. That's Paul McCartney's best solo song by far. It's called Too Many People by Paul McCartney. Check it out, it's great. I gotta smoke a cigarette. But what I will do for you is turn it this way so you can see me. There's my butt. We'll start with that. Yeah, I didn't know that Paul McCartney song either, though. Rachel turned me on to it. It's really good. It gets stuck in your head. That's how you know it's really good. I mean, I just love the chorus bridge thing where he's like, that was your first mistake. You took your lucky break and you broke it in two. Now what can be done for you? You broke it in two. That part is fantastic. But it's fantastic because it contrasts so beautifully with the other part, which is almost like childlike in its rock and rollishness. It's just a brilliant composition. The lyrics too. At the very end, you find out like what's been going on through the whole song. It's a brilliant composition. You filthy birds, get out of here. God, I wish I could find my hair pit. I made a short this morning about 4 types, and it said ESTJs are highly effective and very dumb at the same time. ENTPs are very smart and highly ineffective at the same time. ENFJs are very charismatic and fundamentally unoriginal at the same time. INFJs know everything about the world and others and nothing about themselves at the same time. I thought that was a pretty good short. Let me feed Peter. Come on, Peter. I owe it as a legacy to my mother to continue feeding that peacock, that one peacock. It's really a pain in the ass, but I owe it to my mother. That's her peacock. She fed it starting when she started getting dementia. She'd feed it all the time. Just that one peacock. It's got this one wonky feather that sticks out, so it's easy to tell apart from the other peacocks. And even though my mother's now dead, I feel obligated to respect her wishes on this matter and continue feeding that stupid fucking peacock. I was gonna feed Peter. I did feed Peter. Peter is the one peacock, even though I hate all the peacocks, that I have to feed because it's like my mom's legacy peacock. And I feel obligated to continue feeding it. The rest of the peacocks I want to shoot with my air pistol, but I can't find which box I put it in the pod. Oh, Eric. You're such a mess. Oh my God. New Year's Eve, though, had to be the least cooperative day in the history of mankind. Every single thing we tried to do on New Year's Eve was either a failure or 10 times harder than it should be or take 10 times longer than it should. I couldn't find a lighter, I couldn't find my keys, I couldn't find anything. It was ridiculous. Yeah, we won't disclose how actually awful living with peacocks is. People buy homes in Arcadia thinking they want to live with peacocks. Once they move in, they learn the horrible truth. That we don't have to disclose. That's good advice, Sean Ryan Barron. We don't need to disclose that, so that's fine. It's a little trick I'm playing on whoever buys this house. And when they come look at it, there's not going to be any peacock shit over everything because I've cleaned it up before they get here, you know. And we're like, oh, look at this beautiful house. It has no shit on it. Just you wait. Just you wait until you move in here. Then you'll discover just how much shit there will be on your house. It took me a very long time to grasp what happened to your dad because it was so shocking to me. I gave you my sympathies for what you've been through. You're a strong person, Eric. May 2023 bring you great blessings. Well, thank you, Becky T. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It was shocking, and it really knocked me out of any kind of equilibrium for several months. I was a complete mess, frankly. But fortunately, because I'm not much of a doer, I didn't really do anything. I just said a bunch of stupid shit that I normally would never say, and that I'm very embarrassed about, you know. Involving Corey and Liz in my life makes my life a lot more complicated. Even though we have a very special connection, that Corey and Liz's family and me and my family. You know, our kids met when, like, Delilah was 3 weeks old and Charlie was like a month and a half old because he's like 3 weeks older than Delilah. And first thing Charlie did was steal Delilah's blanket. And Delilah was like, "Wah!" Corey's wife is Liz. But you know, first of all, INFP-INFJ relationship is not a good relationship. Second of all, yeah, plus BPD is not a good relationship. You know? And third, INFP in a bad relationship always wants to bring up the conversation of how her relationship is failing her, but frames it as the other person failing her. And of course, as usual, doesn't listen to Eric very well. When you were expressing your thoughts as everything happened, I think perhaps it was healthier to regurgitate them than clean them up, instead of allowing them to brew inside. Yeah, well, Winston's mom, fortunately or unfortunately, I am completely incapable of letting my feelings stew inside of me. When I'm upset, everybody knows it. I mean, that's just all there is to it. When I'm upset, I'm not quiet about it at all. My problem is I can't keep my mouth shut. I tried so many times on New Year's Eve to keep my mouth shut, and I just kept opening it. I don't have any, I do not have any poker face, right? When I play poker, people just look at me and they can tell right away when I have a good hand. Because I'm like, oh, look at that. I got 2 aces in my hand. That's why I'm not a good poker player. Okay, Peter, now you're fine. You ate. You need to get off of the patio, though. Don't want you shitting on the patio. Get off of the patio. Go on. Go on. Get off of the patio. Yeah. The thing is, by 51, I've gotten pretty good at being able to say all kinds of things while continually choosing my words carefully. After my dad shot himself, I went through a period of time when I completely lost that ability. And it was the first time in my life that I felt public exposure made me vulnerable. I'd never felt that before. I always thought, and again feel, as though public exposure makes me strong because I represent truth, justice, and the American way, you know? So, nobody's going to quote words back to me that make me look bad, except for during that period of time, in which case I was a nightmare, right? I was a nightmare of my own failure and giving other people ammunition to attack me left and right. I don't like giving other people ammunition to attack me with. If I'm doing that, then I'm fucking up badly, you know? I'm fucking up badly because the only thing that keeps me safe in life is that I know how to talk right. Come on in, Trouble. Oh, Mr. Man. Oh, Mr. Man Kitty. Man Kitty Kittyman. Come here. Oh, come here, Man Kitty. Man Kitty is his new preferred pronunciation of Man Kitty. He's one of those people. My name's no longer Sarah. It's Sarah. He's one of those people. It's just I call him Kittyman now instead of Kitty Man. Anyway, I feel like I'm past most of the anger about this thing, which is nice because I don't like living in anger. When I'm angry, I spend all my time driving around whenever I'm not talking out loud, having pretend conversations in which I'm yelling at the person who I'm mad at in my head. I shit you not, that's what I do when I'm mad. For the past couple of days, every time I'm not speaking out loud, I'm yelling at Janet in my head in various new creative ways. I have a really weird relationship with it. It's like, if it's short-lived, I kind of like it. I kind of like battle time, you know? And I also hate it because I don't like being mad. I want to be happy-go-lucky, you know? I feel like a bully sometimes because I am a bully sometimes. And yet, the people I'm bullying order it from me online, call me to bug me about delivering it, and then insist being at the door when I do. It's like, before I start bullying people, they've had to fuck up multiple times or very badly. But once they do, I seem to enjoy berating them. I don't like that I enjoy it. I don't think it's good that I enjoy it, but I do. And then I have this weird, dirty feeling of evil pleasure, you know? So, right. If they don't, it's like people can continually take a little bit of advantage of me all the time because I don't care that much, and as long as they are not thinking they're outsmarting me or something, then whatever. I don't like it when people try to screw me in a way that suggests they think they're smarter than me. That my ego doesn't stand for that. You know, I just, okay, bitch, now you've done it. Now you've done it. I was being super nice and pleasant and telling you everything you need to know, and then you thought, oh boy, I can use this information that this idiot is telling me against him. No, you can't. No, you can't. Because now you crossed the line where I care, and I'm mad, and you're fucked. And you forced me to care and be mad, so now you're fucked. You know, like, what the fuck is up with the pharmacy? My doctor called in my prescription 2 days ago. I haven't gotten a single text from them. They're supposed to send me a text that says, you can't pick it up yet until January 3rd, or whatever date I can pick it up. And that text prompts me to go down there and warn them again. You will fill my prescription on that date, not any other date. Then they will again tell me that that's impossible until I shame them, and then they will again give me my drugs. This is our monthly little play we put on down at the CVS. They've tried to avoid it this month by not sending me a text telling me anything about my prescription at all. That's not gonna work, you morons. Still just go right down there and say, what the fuck's up? Now you're just giving me more ammunition, right? If you would just try to tell the truth to me all the time, instead of try to be all schemy. No, we still have some left. We have a fair amount left. How did I rate them? Poorly. They were fine, except for the fact that they tasted even grosser than mushrooms usually do. They're especially gross tasting mushrooms. But they worked fine. It's just that I need to wait longer between eating them. That's the problem. That's why I was yelling at them for being baby tripping. This isn't real trouble. This is baby trouble. You stupid bastard. I ate a half ounce of them. I know, but I'm not going to inform them of that until I'm sure they've given me my last pills. And I'll say, well, I've got some good news for you. I'm moving away on Tuesday. You're not going to have to deal with me anymore. But I'm not going to tell them until after I get my last. Winston's mom, was that you again? Winston's mom? Guys, I am sorry Winston's mom keeps farting during this live stream. An ounce is 28 grams. 7 times 4. So yeah, I ate about half ounce. Rachel ate like, you know, maybe an eighth. There's a little less than half ounce left, probably. I blame Bob too. I was thinking about eating them this morning, but basically, well, like the thought of eating them is made me want to puke because they're so gross. So I said, fuck, maybe I just wait till tomorrow. You know? I'd trip better. I skipped one day and I got a lot of sleep last night. I slept from 9 to 6. That's 9 full hours I got of good hard sleep. Which is pretty important. Pretty important to get enough sleep for me. Sometimes I can get away with not getting enough sleep much more easily than I can, but especially as I get older, I need to get enough sleep or else I just feel tore up, cranky, grumpy, etc. Oh, Mr. Bubbles. Mr. Trouble Bubble. Ssuartscire Bubblingtons. Kitty of Magnitude. Yes, I see you. I know you. I love you. Because you're a wonderful kitty, that's why. Did you think it was some other reason? No. It's because you're a wonderful kitty. And I love you. Why won't you come over here to me? He's not paying any attention to me. You want a cheeseburger, the mushrooms? Well, I tried, but, the way we ate them last time, we went specifically and got matcha tea, which I've determined is one of the best ways to kill the taste of mushrooms. And it worked, sort of. It didn't work as well as it does with other mushrooms, because those mushrooms were so gross. But yeah, to drink and eat food while eating mushrooms is definitely a good idea to, minimize the amount of torture that you experience while eating them. Because it's like when I'm eating those, I opened the bag and was like, whoa, what is it, a bag of shit? But of course, they're perfectly fine to eat. They didn't make me throw up or poop a lot or anything like that. It's weird, If you look at this thing, you'd think, these cannot possibly be acceptable food. If you smell and look at them. There's no way my body's going to not get stomach cramps, diarrhea, everything like that if I eat these things. And yet, they're fine. They're just disgusting. It's weird. Perfectly digestible, healthy food that looks, smells, and tastes absolutely disgusting. It's weird. Anywho, but here's one thing I think might be the case. I think that the effect of mushrooms has where it prevents you from getting high on mushrooms again right away. You have to wait a couple of days. It also impacts the ability of DMT to get you high. That's the only explanation I have for why I smoked so much DMT without really ever getting on DMT. It's crazy. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen because it was flooring everybody else. So maybe I'm just such an old head, I just can't get high anymore. I don't know. So I only have a few drugs to choose from. I've eliminated most of the other possible drugs from my choice making, either because I don't like them or I can't handle them. DMT is a psychedelic drug with a very short half-life. So the whole trip lasts like 45 minutes. It's potentially my favorite psychedelic because it doesn't, you can do it again right away. You can get high on DMT, have your trip for like 45 minutes, like wait 15 minutes, and then do it again, and it'll work just as well. That's what I like about it. I don't like waiting. If I'm in the mood to do a bunch of psychedelics for the next couple of weeks, I want to do them every day, you know? I like I like psychedelics. I've been thinking about possibly getting some acid. Winston's mom, that is enough. That's so gross. I can't believe you're farting in front of all of us like that. Well, with that, can you please ask Winston's mom to stop farting? Okay, anyway. Changa extract does not equal these factory packed pens. Look, if you're talking about DMT, Boba Fett, what I'm telling you is that DMT worked just fine on everybody but me. And we're all old heads. We're not inexperienced people who don't know what we're doing and blah, 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 blah. Okay? Everybody wants to try to say that because my DMT experiences aren't spoken about like they speak about them, that I failed to have some sort of breakthrough experience. I mean, well, it's not because I haven't smoked enough DMT. I'll tell you that much. I swear by the self-assurance with which elderly men sitting in public tilt sideways to allow the gas to escape loudly. Why not? You know, you're old, you're not trying to get laid, why not? Okay, guys, I gotta come clean. It wasn't Winston's mom who was farting, it was me. I was lying this whole time. Winston's mom never had anything to do with it, actually. It was me, all me the whole time. I already pooped, Chef, actually. I pooped right before the stream. I'm out of poop. So, yeah, I guess a little bit sad about not being on drugs. First day of the new year. I'm basically completely sober. It's like, I think I pulled like maybe 4 bong rips all day. And they don't even do anything. I mean, it's ridiculous. Resume razors pain you. Rivers are damp. Acid stains you. And drugs cause cramp. Guns aren't lawful. Nooses give. Gas smells awful. You might as well live. Maybe that'll be my New Year's resolution. Take acid at some point this year. That's a New Year's resolution I might actually be able to keep. Got a whole year to take it. I want to take it. I just want to make sure I don't take acid that's too strong. That's my fear about acid. I want to make sure I take medium strong acid, not very strong acid. That's the thing that scares me about it. It's like, I like it, but I don't want to trip way too hard, you know? Well, I learned from Charlie um, some interesting terms. Candy flipping is what it's called when you take. Hi, Rachel. Good morning, my darling. Candy flipping is when you take Molly and mushrooms at the same time, I think. Hippie flipping is when you take mushrooms, acid, and Molly at the same time. Pretty funny, huh? I didn't know any idea they had those terms. When I was a teen, Orange Sunshine was all the rage. Everyone knew someone who had taken it, and yet I never knew anyone in our corner of the Pleasant Valley Sundays that had really tried Orange Sunshine. I've never tried Orange Sunshine. I'm all out of poop. I'm so lost without you. Like that. No one ever gave you drugs except for weed. Well, you have mean friends, Becky. You have mean friends who are greedy with their drugs. Hippie flippin'. Hippie flippin' and candy flippin' are terms that refer to combinations of Molly and psychedelics. I don't know what you'd call the combination I did, which was mescaline and mushrooms. I don't know if I have a name for that one. I call it like Mexican flipping. Vato flipping or something. Mescaline's very vato. I don't know, it just has this kind of feel to it. I gotta pee. I'll be back. And when I return, I'll be better than ever. I'll be the best meow that you'll ever meow. Everything bad is good. Everything old is new. Everything's different now because I have peed. Speed is one of the most toxic synthetics. I'm sorry you were woken up by the New Year's Eve revelry, Rachel. I didn't even think about that when I booked a motel in Baldwin Park. Baldwin Park's notorious for setting off a lot of fireworks. El Monte and Baldwin Park both are like, they're chock full of illegal fireworks. People shooting them up into the sky and stuff, you know. Our cats are having a rather nervous breakdown themselves, although they seem a little bit more relaxed now. I'm here at the house, and they both come in for a little while, and then went back outside, and Capillo ate inside, and I mean, it's not nearly as toxic as Tylenol. Tylenol is incredibly toxic. If you take 10 Tylenols, you're in big trouble. If you take 2, you're just fine. You know? So, in terms of toxicity, the way to measure toxicity is the difference between the effective dose and the fatal dose. Speed has quite a large gap there. Marijuana's gap is like infinite. but Tylenol has a small gap between those things. It makes it a dangerous drug. But because it's such a good drug at the right dosage for what it does, it both reduces fever, eliminates like headache pain, and also is a mood stabilizer. So yeah, meth is not particularly toxic. Amphetamines are not particularly toxic. I mean, they're more toxic than water, but most everything is. Regardless, I don't do it, so it doesn't matter. But Adderall is basically the same thing. It's just not methylated. I mean, I take a fair amount of pills, but by that I mean probably 2 Tylenols a day, 2 chlorotrimazole or Benadryls, usually before I go to bed. Sometimes I'll hit up Rachel for half a Klonopin as well, and a couple of gabapentins. And that's fine because I'm not overdoing it on any of them. I'm having them joyfully congregate together to make me go to sleep. In joyful congregation will this colorful assortment of pills help me sleep. Go full on MD once a full moon. I don't know what that means. Rachel says a leaf is really toxic. They are extremely insistent that you not take more than meow and meow at a time. I probably could get it, actually. I could probably get Molly, and probably Rachel and I would really enjoy taking it together. The only issue is